Our next unit will be all about polynomials, and there's some important vocab that you'll have to be used to as we start solving them. A monomial is one term. A binomial is the sum of two monomials, and a trinomial is the sum of three. One keyword you'll need to know is your degree, and that's a sum of all of the exponents within a term. So for example, the sum of this monomial is 3, because that's our exponent. However, the sum of the next one has two variable exponents, and we add those together, which makes 5. In a polynomial, we need to just focus in on the terms. Those are separated by plus or minus signs. So like this is 1 term, 2 term, 3 term. To figure out the degree, we would just focus in on one term. 3 plus 2 makes 5. Now I look at my second term. 2 plus 1 makes 3. This one has that imaginary exponent of 1. The greatest, the highest, was 5. And we're going to use degrees to reorder polynomials, which is called writing them in standard form. And we're going to write them from greatest to least degree. So focusing on the degree. So I'm going to go one term at a time. This is our first term, and it has an exponent of 4. So our second term, it has no variable exponent, so we consider that a degree of 0. I go to my third term. It has two variables, so I need to add those exponents together. 2 plus 1 makes 3. And then finally at the end, it has one variable exponent, which is 5. And now we're going to reorder based on those numbers up there. So 6x to the 5th power is our highest degree. Then 4x to the 4th power. Then it's this one. 5x squared with the y, and then we have one more left, and that is the minus 7. So that's reordering it in standard form. The leading coefficient is the number in front after it's written in standard form. So a coefficient is the number in front. After it's written in standard form, that number would be 6. It does not mean the biggest number. So we're going to kind of put all of those words together to complete this paper. I'm going to save some time and skip some questions. Okay, so this has two terms. It's separated by one minus sign, so this is called a binomial. The degree would be the highest variable exponent. So this one has one variable with an imaginary exponent of 1. This one has two variables. We add them together. 4 plus 1 makes 5. I'm not adding that with the other term. I'm only adding per term. So the degree is 5. Now we look at the next one. This has 1, 2, 3 terms. So we call it a trinomial. And the degree is the highest exponent, which would be 3. This next one is called a monomial. Since it has no variable on it, we say that it has a degree of 0. Now we're going to practice writing some in standard form. So we're going to go from highest exponent to the smallest. So this has 3 terms. We will call it a trinomial. The highest exponent is 6. So that's the number that I write first. The next highest exponent is 2, so then I write that one. And then there's 1 without an exponent, and that goes at the end. The leading coefficient would be the number in front, which is 3. It's not the highest number, but the number in front. If they asked you about the degree, it would be 6. All right, now we're going to look at this term. This has no letter, so it would have a degree of 0. This has one letter with no exponent, so it would have a degree of 1. This has 2 letters that each have an imaginary exponent. We add them together to make 2. This has 2 variable exponents. We add them together to make 3. So we're going to go by the highest degree, starting with 8xy squared. Then it would go to 6xy plus 5y, and then plus 12. The leading coefficient would be the number in front, so 8. Next one, we're going by the highest exponent. 5y squared would go first, then 4y, and then 2. The leading coefficient is the number in front, so 5.